Hey, Ian.
Hello, Dave.
Hey, so tonight's show is going to start a little bit of a somber note. I lost a coworker recently in a unfortunate motorcycle accident, and his name is Chris Hennessy, and I just kind of wanted to just take a moment to share a quick little experience with Chris. Before his life was cut short too soon. I've worked with him for a little bit. We didn't know each other very well at all. But he was 52 years old, died in a single person motorcycle accident, went off the road and unfortunately passed away. But I had a really good experience working with him just recently. He's the manager of the server team at the hospital I work at, right? And, during the COVID kind of big work effort that needed to happen, like with my virtual health team around like all of this like volume increase that we needed to stand up an infrastructure to support virtual visits and for COVID related stuff, he was awesome to work with, and he was super positive, and he was incredibly helpful. And I just wanted to take a moment to say rest in peace. And life is really short, so hug your loved ones, and please, for the love of God, be careful out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
sorry, man. It sucks. And it sucks also like those, like, someone, but you don't know someone, and
right.
Navigating that is always kind of difficult too. So.
Right. Yeah. And he was a motorcycle enthusiast. Like he loved riding motorcycles. When he would pop in on like Teams calls, there was like a vintage bike artwork that he had in the background, stuff like that. So, I'm sure if he like briefly intersected with me, at work, and it was a positive experience, and I would assume that tracks to, the communities that he was a part of, and the motorcycle community as well. And obviously those are, those folks run in really tight knit groups. So I'm sure he made a positive impact there as well. So, yeah. So I, like not to like bring the show down or anything, but this has always been a real show, right, Ian? So anyway, like,
thank you for sharing that, Dave.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. I'm Dave.
I'm Ian.
Yeah. Apex Adjacent Podcast. Ian, what do you want to talk about tonight? What do you want to talk about, and what are we going to talk about? Because maybe those are two different things.
I want to talk about Run the Jewels 4, but we're going to talk about NASCAR. We're going to talk about your garage updates, mister.
Yeah.
We've got some things from a listener. You've got some My Eyes, and I have some new car news and an FMK cars.
Okay. All right. Some new
cars. And actually, news. I'm gonna change it up. Let's start with that.
All right.
We're gonna do rapid tonal shift instead of talking about also kind of downer NASCAR news.
True.
We're gonna tonal shift this, and we're gonna talk about some new car news.
Okay.
So,
all right.
It was announced that the U.S. will not be getting yet another very cool wagon.
Oh, really? What is this?
Well, you're gonna find out in my FMK Cars.
FMK Cars is a game that Ian and Dave play on the Apex Adjacent podcast. It's based on the classic game of Fuck, Marry, Kill, but instead of playing it with people like gross people do, they play it with cars. Blah, blah, blah. You get it. Let's do this.
Yes. Okay, great. All right. So this one is called No. You still can't have them. Modern Forbidden Fruit. So we've done variations on this in the past, things that you can't get here. But now we have a 2021 edition.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So the first one is what inspired this.
Okay.
And there's going to be a twist with this as well.
All right.
The 2021 Volkswagen Arteon
Oh,
Ayrton,
yeah.
shooting brake.
Oh, wow.
It's not a shooting brake, it's a wagon, but whatever.
Oh, okay.
Volkswagen.
Is it like people calling four-doors coupes, like that kind of thing?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, all right.
Yes. But it is very pretty.
Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great, right?
Yeah. Okay, but we're not getting it.
Not coming to the US. Yes.
Oh, thanks. Okay. All right. Okay.
This is cool. It's got 263 horsepower, 4-cylinder, turbo 4, or you can get it with a VR6 with 315 horsepower.
Oh, man, that would be cool. Yeah.
Sweet. So this one, the twist is you're always slightly hungry for a sausage.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You will always have to settle for something else.
You know what? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me make a little note because I think I want to come back to that. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Arteon, Areaar umlaut Teon sausage.
Nailed it.
Okay, and then I'm writing a word that you won't see. Okay.
Sausage yearning.
Okay.
Sausage
yearning. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The next one is the 2021 Renault Megane Sport Tourer.
Okay.
Gonna go with the Sport Tourer.
Okay. All right. Sport Tourer. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. You know how bad I want a Megane to begin with.
I know you do.
Oh, man, Ian. Okay. Oh, wow.
Right.
They have a plug-in hybrid version?
They do, yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right. So with this one, that's not the Sport Tourer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. With this one, you're always in the mood to listen to Daft Punk.
Oh.
But you can never find it.
All right. Never find it on the playlist?
You can never get it on the playlist. You can't find it in your record collection. It's never on the radio. But you're always slightly moved to hear that, and you always have to settle for something else.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. The next one is not a wagon.
Okay.
Instead, it is the 2021 Honda E, which I don't think we've talked about yet.
Oh, no.
It's this really cool little all-electric car.
It's adorable.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like for sale in the UK. We can't get it. I don't know that much about it other than I want it.
Yeah, look how cute its dumb little face is.
Right?
Yeah, it looks like the automotive version of like a Boston Terrier.
I mean, it looks like an updated PAL.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Oh man, the interior is pretty sweet too. Look at that.
Yeah. I would even have it in that insane neon green.
Of course. Yeah, tiny car, crazier color. That's how the equation works, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so with this one,
Uh-huh.
You're always 1 amp short of being able to have everything on in your house that you want.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to unplug your phone.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Or you're gonna have to turn off one light that you would like to have on.
Okay. Okay.
You're always gonna be 1 amp short.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Huh. Okay. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. All right. Ian, I think I'm gonna kill the Megane.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I think if you like made it like Chemical Brothers, it'd be worse.
Right.
Right.
Right. Well, but as you can tell, I was trying to match a theme, right? So like,
Yeah.
the German car has a sausage,
Right.
and
The French car has Daft Punk.
Daft Punk.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh man, that's a tough
There's
one.
also not really good replacements for Daft Punk.
Yeah, you're right.
If you're in the movie, that is very specific.
Yeah, you either can go way more housey than that or way more breaky than that, but not really like right down the middle, right?
Right.
Oh man, maybe I'm going to need to rethink this. Okay. I know for a day, all right, that for the Ayrton, all right, where I want a sausage, but I can't have one. Okay. I have the sausage hunger. I can do this for a day because I actually live in this world, not with sausage, but with coffee. So I can't have coffee like past like 11:30 ish a.m. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
In the morning?
Yeah. In the morning, I have to cut it off pretty early. You know, my awful insomnia track record, right?
It's true.
I'm a bad sleeper. Right. So I have to stop caffeine pretty early. The half-life for caffeine is pretty high. It's like 8 hours. So, yeah. So, but I have to make that adjustment, whether it be decaf or a cup of herbal tea or something like that. So I'm used to making that compromise every single day in my life where I want a coffee. I need a coffee. Coffee is my life, but I cannot have it because then I will never sleep. And yeah, so
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I can do that for a day. And plus that wagon, let's just call it a wagon, looks absolutely fantastic. And I would love to drive it for a day. Yeah.
Okay.
You and I drove the Sedan.
Yes.
Yeah. It was interesting. It didn't feel huge, but it didn't feel small.
Yeah. No, they do a good job with those things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I felt like it was a classy lower Passat, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So then I think I'm going to marry the Honda E.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also I feel like knowing being 1 amp short is a very good, I'm always kind of that way anyway. Like, you know, like my webcam they'll recognize one of them, but not the other. And you know, okay, well then fuck it. Like I have to leave this unplugged, you know, kind of thing. Right. With everything that I do for all this, you know?
Yeah.
In addition to just Dave being Dave. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So then I think that means I do have to kill the Megane, but that's mainly because the Twist gets me into the Airtion for a day. Mm-hmm. And the Megane, and the Honda, I can live that life. The Megane would be tough. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you feel like you would do on that one, Ian?
So here's the thing is that honestly, if I was to actually buy one of these cars for my family,
right.
Megane is awesome.
Yeah. Right. A plug-in hybrid wagon with a little bit of a higher roof line.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it's better looking than the Airtion.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
So I think I'm going to crush the Volkswagen.
Okay. All right.
I do like a sausage.
Right.
And when you want a sausage,
gotta
have a sausage.
The only thing that can really satiate that is a sausage, right, Ian?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to marry the Honda.
Okay.
And I also feel like I'm always 1 amp short as well. In my life, nothing is ever working in my house.
Right.
Or in my life or in my cars. So sure, I might as well blow some breakers as well.
Right.
And then I'll do a day not being able to listen to Daft Punk when I really want to.
Okay. Nice. Right on. Well, so
good work, everybody. Good work, team.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you had one of these wagons to replace the Turbo X, you'd want it to be that Renault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though it's most definitely slower than the Volkswagen.
Right.
It's the right size.
Yeah.
And it's super rad looking, and we'd be the only people with one. And it would be super hard to get parts for.
Right.
It would probably break all the time. So it's perfect.
Right. Perfect. Lovely. Jumping out of the fire and into the other fire.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how Renault is with reliability, but Oh yeah. Speaking of Renault, Carlos Ghosn, they arrested those two people that helped him escape. Remember that?
Oh shit, they got him, huh?
Yeah. It was two Americans. It was like a dad and his son.
What?
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. This isn't on the talk about. We need to talk about this.
So
give people the backstory. Yeah.
So Carlos Ghosn was the CEO of Renault and Nissan and somehow also Mitsubishi. And it was a big deal in Japan that a non-Japanese person was the CEO of Nissan.
Yes.
And it was also a big deal that he was kind of starting to take some of Nissan's autonomy away and kind of merging those platforms a little bit. So he was kind of a controversial figure in Japan as it was. And then he got arrested under these kind of like very interesting charges. Like they were very kind of draconian financial laws.
Yeah.
For a CEO, as compared to the U.S. or Europe, but they're pretty typical in Japan. And I still don't know. I can't get a handle on whether he deserved to be arrested or not.
Right.
Who knows? It was basically he was underreporting his income to avoid paying taxes in Japan.
Right.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked either way, right? Like I wouldn't be shocked that they were slightly trumped up charges, and I wouldn't be shocked that he was guilty as shit.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
But what was shocking was that he then staged a very daring and successful escape.
Right.
By hiding himself in the boxes that would normally house like the speakers for a big concert.
Yep.
And had two roadies load him onto a private plane that he fucking left.
Yep.
And went back to Lebanon where he has one of his 3 passports.
Right. So new development as of when did this come out? May 21st.
Okay.
All right. So I
don't know how I missed this. There was nothing else happening in the news.
Exactly. When something this crazy, it just doesn't even move the needle of the news, right? So 2 men, Michael Taylor, a former Special Forces soldier, and his son, Peter Taylor, were charged in Japan with enabling the escape. And then they put out an arrest warrant for a 3rd person as well. The pair are due in Boston federal court for an initial appearance, back in May. So they made an arrest of 2 American people for helping. Wow. Yeah, I have no idea how these people connected. So there's no image of Carlos Ghosn leaving the hotel. He was in one of the large black boxes. Baggage passed through security check at the airport without being screened as it was loaded on a private jet. And so these people just had some kind of connection and made it all happen.
Well, what I had read originally was that it wasn't screened because it was too large for the machine.
That's right. Yes. Oh, here, look, a security firm that Taylor ran out of Boston claimed to have conducted vulnerability assessments for dozens of major international airports. Yeah. So he knew what the flaws were. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean,
also, how do you
pretty awesome.
True. How do you find this guy though? If you're Carlos Ghosn, how do you find this guy?
Did you see where it says he's done these other extractions before?
Oh no, I didn't. He's done other extractions? Where's that?
The second to last paragraph.
Oh, okay. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, okay.
So those were high profile things, right?
Yeah, New York Times hired him after their reporter David Rode was captured by the Taliban. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, obviously you're going to have a name then at that point, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow.
That's interesting.
crazy.
I totally missed that.
Yep. Well, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's not like there hasn't been any other insane stuff going on, right?
Crazy.
Yeah. So there you go. So Nissan, everybody. Nissan.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. What do you want to get to next, Ian?
Let's talk about the NASCAR.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the NASCAR. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So,
well, I was going to say that we had been planning on talking about this week.
Yeah.
Already. And then today there was a very big twist in this whole saga. So today is, what is today? Tuesday, the 23rd of June. And so over the last week, there's been over the last couple of weeks with NASCAR, there's been a lot of news, right? So they banned the Confederate flag from their races. And as some people pointed out, that is sort of squishy too, because some of that's up to the venue and all that sort of stuff. But basically, when they're occupying a venue, no one is allowed to display the Confederate flag, which is fucking long overdue.
Right.
And
good
for them for finally taking a stand.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think we need to explain why that is the case. But in kind of the all wrapped up with that was the only black driver on the grid, Bubba Wallace, and he was the one who had kind of pushed them over the edge of finally making that decision.
Right.
And one of the things that happened was this on Saturday night. One of his pit crew found a noose in his garage and reported it to NASCAR.
Right.
They pushed the race to Monday instead of Sunday. It ran yesterday.
Right.
And the FBI got involved and all this other stuff. NASCAR's reaction to it was amazing. It was really encouraging and great. Because all of the drivers, the whole grid, and the teams and everybody really rallied around Bubba Wallace. And it, for a second, made me want to watch NASCAR.
Right. And let's just say real quick, Bubba Wallace ran a Black Lives Matter livery on his NASCAR. Right. Mm-hmm. And so he was already kind of coming in at this, as this statement maker, right? Other than just his presence. Right. So like Colin Kaepernick, right? Not just by being a black man, Kaepernick was kneeling and protesting. And, and Bubba Wallace was showing support for a very important movement, right? So a lot of attention, a lot of eyes on them, right? And within the community, until the whole noose thing happened, there was still a lot of like there was around the Confederate flag, where there's this pushback that is present when these kind of automotive governing bodies make these changes, right?
Right.
Similar to F1 getting rid of grid girls, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
So, and I think with the realization today that it had been there since October, that basically what happened is somebody had tied a noose into the
pull handle for the overhead door.
The pull rope for the door. And he just happened to be assigned the garage where that had been done.
Right.
And they didn't notice it right away.
Right.
That, I mean, honestly, it's not surprising that somebody tied a noose into a pull down door in a racetrack in Alabama.
Right.
But at the same time, whether this was, intentional or not, or a mistake or not, I think what is important out of this is a really good illustration as to why representation matters. Because I think without the rest of the grid having a face and a person that they care about.
Yes.
Attached to all of this issue, it would be very easy for them to have kicked the can down the road again, like they have for years over this issue.
Right.
After the shooting in South Carolina several years ago, that was another time when NASCAR was really under pressure to ban the Confederate flag, and they didn't do it.
Right.
And I think that now it's just a couple of things have changed. Like the whole conversation for the whole country is much more intense. But also, they have a black driver on the grid, and they're friends with him.
Right.
And can now relate person to person, like, this is an important thing.
Right. To stop seeing it as some kind of figure and start seeing him as a human being.
Right. And it becomes like a visceral, emotional thing, which is what the lived experience is for so many people. So the details of the story are much less important than the reaction, the NASCAR's reaction to it.
Right.
And the follow through that resulted from him being there and showing up and speaking his mind.
Exactly. You're exactly right. That representation is so key. Right. And then as these automotive, or these overseers of these sports culture centers, like these kinds of things, as they make these changes to make it easier for people to be represented within their things, then it's this upward lifting kind of cycle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And actually, now that I totally forgot to put this, to bring this up before, but I just put something in our chat, in our video conference.
Oh, sure. Okay.
To share to the people. But there's a really great article that Robb Holland, a Denver-based race car driver,
we met him, black. Right?
Yeah, we met him.
Yeah, High Plains.
At High Plains, he runs Pikes Peak a lot, and he runs. He's a sports car driver.
Yeah,
really accomplished, and he's also a journalist. Like, he writes for a lot of publications. He has an article in The Drive about the lack of diversity and representation in the car world in general.
Right.
And it's a really good article. I highly recommend everybody should read it. It came out last week, and it talks about, obviously Bubba Wallace. He's there on as the title image. And it talks about journalism. Basically that this problem is persistent in motorsport, or in the car world.
Right.
In motorsport at all levels.
Right.
In journalism at all levels.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, us.
Yeah.
And in the industry at all levels.
Right.
So it's really, really informative and good. So you should read it.
Awesome. I'll pop a link to it in the description. I made a note in the talk about, so I remember to do that. Yeah. So it'll be in the description in YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah. I don't know. So that upward lift of making our culture more inclusive, right? Having folks be represented. Like, I often think about Dick Cheney, Ian. Right? But like
when you want to punch things, or
true. Why? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But, I obviously, I'm a Democrat, I don't think any of this is news, but so I was very opposed to, George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. Right. And all of these awful things that Dick Cheney would kind of devise, it seemed like every single thing was designed to go against and irritate me, but yet my parents were completely in support of, right? Mm-hmm. But then but Dick Cheney also happened to have a daughter who was lesbian, right? Mm-hmm. and this like Bible thumping right wing, guy that would otherwise have no tolerance for anything like that, right? Any other kind of diversity or anything outside of like the biblical, like family values, like kind of thing, right? Marriage is between a man and a woman. Like he changed his view on that. And like, it was known that like that kind of topic was completely off, like unavailable to him for interviews and stuff like that. Right. And he didn't speak about it very much.
Well,
but well, hang on. So the direct exposure of his daughter allowed him to change his opinion about how he felt about gay people, right? Mm-hmm. That direct exposure, right? And for a lot of people, it's difficult to make that leap if you don't have that direct exposure, right? To see what it's like to be somebody other than yourself, to have problems other than your own, right? Yeah. But because of that direct exposure, like he was able to change his mind about how he felt about things, right? And which conflicted with a lot of views he already had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like this direct exposure and this humanization of people that are wrongly like thinking that these people are different and should be excluded and don't belong where they belong, like having that direct exposure and seeing them for the real people that they are, it helps things, right? That makes the whole situation better.
Yes. I get your point with that. My only issue with it is that he's also a really good example of how not to be a very good ally.
Right.
Because he, instead of encouraging people to talk to him about it in interviews, he made it off limits. And he also didn't prevent the very ugly culture war campaign of 2004.
Exactly.
Which was based mostly around gay marriage. And that issue.
Exactly.
So,
and he stood on the side, which is something you shouldn't do, right?
He very cynically stood on the side,
right?
Because he was more interested in holding onto power than helping his daughter.
Exactly. Right.
I have lots of thoughts about Dick Cheney.
No, he's a fucking awful human being. But I'm saying that even an awful human being changed his personal view about one thing because of direct exposure.
He
right?
did. He's still a piece of shit, though.
He is. He absolutely is. Right. Yeah. And I think like saying that you have an issue with the analogy isn't the right thing to do. Saying you have an addendum to my analogy is probably the right way to put it.
I'm yes-anding your analogy.
You're yes-anding my analogy when I tell you to yes-and my analogy.
Correct. Yes.
Thanks, Ian.
No problem. Sorry. Dick Cheney.
Yeah. I don't know. So exposure matters. Representation matters. Right.
Yes. Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Okay. What is happening in your garage right now?
Probably squirrels. I don't know. No. Let's see. What is happening in my garage? So so the vegan. Oh, okay. All right. Let's start with the vegan. Okay. I was on the You Pull It websites making the rounds, right? Did I already tell you this? I can't remember if I told you this.
We had a story about a You Pull It last week.
Uh-huh.
And
where I found a door for the vegan?
Yes. You found the door and it didn't have a hole in it.
Correct.
And so you retrieved the door.
There were no parts that I could see through.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we have that. All right. Thank you for keeping my story straight. So I have a door for the vegan. The vegan has a tick to it. So it's time to do the timing chain, right? That's going to be a pretty intense job. I'm going to pull the engine to do it because I need to do it carefully and correct, right? So, and I'll take the opportunity to do a bunch of other stuff, right? Pardon me, but here's the dilemma. My old man sedan. You remember how I was having issues with it overheating?
Yes.
Okay.
Thermostat was where we ended up, right?
No. So I wasn't exactly sure, but then winter came and everything, kind of stayed under the radar, right? Mm-hmm. I think I have figured out what happened, what is going on. So not only has one catalytic converter thrown a code, now both catalytic converters are throwing codes. I think that in addition to the cats like not operating as effectively as they should, I think I have an exhaust leak under the hood. And I think what's happening is my underhood temperatures are just getting out of control. And the way I finally troubleshot. So, so the way that I finally resolved that is with everything that's going on, my wife and I are doing these car picnics now where we go get food and then we sit in the back of the old man sedan and have a car picnic to eat it while our food's still hot. Right?
Right.
You get
and while you did that, you guys just got high as fuck off exhaust fumes.
Well, so I've always noticed if you open the hood, you can smell exhaust. Okay? Like that's something that's been more recent within the last year and a half, right?
Okay.
And so I think like maybe a manifold's cracked, maybe something is happening there. But so we're sitting there, car picnic, 90-degree day. I have the old man sedan running, the AC on, of course, and I'm watching the temperature because in the back of my mind, I've already formulated this underhood temperature thing, right? Mm-hmm. And the temperature does start to go up, right? As we're sitting there with the AC on. So I hop out and I open the hood and then everything goes back to normal.
Nice.
No, okay. I mean and normally if I was on the highway, it would be fine as well. Okay. Right? So it's in really intense stop and go traffic when you're barely moving, there's no air moving around. The fan is just not enough, right?
Right.
So I popped the hood, everything came back down on its own. Right? So
when are we cutting hood louvers in your hood?
See, there's two ways to fix this problem, right? Yeah. To cut holes in the hood and just vent it, right? Which would look awful on my old man sedan.
Not if the exhaust was going straight up through it.
Then I think my boo's going to want to find a different car to have a car picnic in. Yeah, exactly. Just flames. Yeah. But so I think what needs to happen is both exhaust manifolds need to be replaced, right? And the exhaust manifolds have the catalytic converters, directly attached to them. Okay. Ian, I'm going to show you the official Infiniti service manual on how to replace my exhaust manifolds.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the word upgrade in it?
No, it's not, because you can't find an upgraded exhaust from the cats up to the engine on my car. You can't. You can find catbacks, but that's it. So here we go. We're going to open this PDF in Chrome here, and I'm going to share it. Ian, we're going to go to page. This is the official Nissan Infiniti service manual. We're going to go
288 pages for everyone listening at home.
This is just for the engine mechanical stuff. Mm-hmm. And this covers both the V6 and the V8. So we'll hop down to the V8, page 183. I know it well. Okay. Can you guess what systems I have to pull on my car in order to get the exhaust manifold out?
Oh, exhaust manifold. Okay. Yeah. So probably, I'm going to say AC.
Okay.
Power steering. and alternator.
Wow. Okay. I think you might have nailed it. Okay. So let's talk about, here's the exhaust manifolds, right? And the cat. Okay. Let's talk about removing, let's see here. What are we going to?
Radiator. You got to remove the radiator.
Remove the radiator, remove the drive belts, remove the other exhaust systems, right?
AC.
Yep. Remove the AC, completely discharge and remove the AC and the compressor.
The starter too.
Got to remove the power steering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like, fuck me. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do this job myself or not.
You know, I mean, is there enough room in there? I mean, could you at least identify the leak?
No.
And I mean, is there even a chance that you could get someone to just like throw a weld on? Or where there's like, if there's something's just cracked?
Our buddy Peta has this like epoxy that can withstand like 2,000 degrees. But okay. I've been all underneath that car trying to get a view, but it's like
done the soapy water thing.
No, because like you can't even like get like really sprayed because like the wheel wells are there, and then like the heads, and then everything is underneath that, and you can't see anything from underneath the car because it just goes straight up into frame. Like, yeah. So, and then after all of that, then you have to lift the engine. So, some like I think they say 3 inches. To get to the bolts to remove the manifolds. So I have to get there somehow to replace and the cats are throwing the codes that they're not operating efficiently. So maybe it's just time to replace both manifolds, but like, fuck, if I'm going to do this job myself, Ian.
Or it's time to cut louvers in your hood.
You see, that's starting to look way more attractive.
Right? Because, I mean, we could get that done tonight. I could come over, knock it out.
Oh, Ian.
We could be done by bedtime.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm in a real pickle with this car, Ian. It's a good car. It's even better now that I'm not driving it so much and spending so much money on gas. Yeah. Yeah. But man, this is going to be a biggie, buddy.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Yeah. The cat and exhaust manifold are about $460 a side. So if we're doing like Rock Auto parts, we're dealing with almost $1,000 in just Rock Auto parts. Right. And then if I go to a shop and have it done, they don't use Rock Auto parts. They're going to charge me, $900, $1,000 because they got to soak up the warranty for the parts too. Right. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's almost making me want to get the AC system working on the Vigan again, even though I planned to pull it when I did the timing chain.
Right.
And then like just to evac an AC system is $80 at a shop. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not the kind of dick that would just vent that into the atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah.
Not even on accident.
Yep. Not even on accident. Yeah.
Man, that's a tough one.
Right.
I mean, I sympathize. I have issues like that too. Like where you just like, you can't justify it, but you can't do it. I don't know. I might just have to limp along and then save up money and just take it to a shop. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get some quotes at least, Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Right.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Cause like
I'm going to be doing some Googling, like, for aftermarket headers for your
dude
car.
If you can find them, go for it, right? If you can find one, just buy it, but they don't exist. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. I know, right? Yep. It looks like it'd be easy enough to make a custom manifold, but you can, so like from the exhaust manifold, you can see how tight everything's in there, because it's not even like they do it the honors of giving everything like equal length headers or like proper like exhaust flow. Like everything's so tight that it's just right there. Like it, not a great design. This is like somewhere that the M45 falls down, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it might be worth asking somebody like how much more, if it would be more to get just like a generic high flow cat attached to a custom set of headers.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if it's $1,000 in parts for stock,
right, and
it's $1,500 for an upgraded set,
right,
that's never gonna crack,
right,
it's made of stainless steel.
Yeah. Oh, and the old man sedan did roll over 150,000 miles.
Oh, nice.
So there you go.
You put a lot of miles on that car.
Yeah, because
how many were on it when you bought it?
94.
Wow.
Yeah. So I bought it and paid it off in about 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And put, 156,000 miles, or no, 56,000 miles on it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right? Yeah. No. Yeah. What's 6 plus? Yeah. Mathian. Yeah. 56,000. Wow. It's past my bedtime.
It is.
Yeah. So I'm in a dilemma with the old man sedan. I don't know. You might just, like, when we finally see each other, I might just roll up in a fucking Prius. I don't know.
I'm just giving up.
Yeah. Right. I just take it to the track. Yeah. They're just a fucking moving pylon. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So anyway, I just had to get that out there.
Okay.
So anyway, there you go. That's my old man dilemma. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Let's do some my eyes.
Okay.
It says here you have some my eyes. I want to see the things that you have seen.
Ian, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you wear a wedding ring?
I do.
Why do you wear a wedding ring?
I have no idea.
For real. Tell me why you wear a wedding ring.
Because it's what I'm supposed to do. I really don't know. I'm not the person to ask about traditions. I don't know.
No, I don't want like the standard tradition. Why do you? Let me phrase this differently. Why do you enjoy wearing a wedding ring?
I don't think I'm giving you the answer that you want. I don't know that I do enjoy it. It's a habit at this point. Like,
I mean, isn't it like a reminder of your wife and your family? Like, is there any kind of like sentimental value?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that it's the thing I've owned the longest.
Okay. All right.
At this point.
Wow. Wow. This is not going the way I thought it would.
I'm sorry.
Wow. I did not know that your body, this is not a bit. I'm not trying to do a bit.
I'm not either.
I know. That's the crazy thing. All right. Okay. Well, all right. So you're married, right?
Yes.
You wear a ring, and part of that ring wearing is a symbol that you are married.
Correct.
Okay. Then why the fuck don't you do this? Ladies and gentlemen, it is a black Chevy Silverado pickup truck, very black tinted windows. And on the back window, on the driver's side, in cursive, there is a window decal that just says Taken. Not like Liam Neeson Taken, like they're a Taken movie enthusiast, a Liam enthusiast, a Neeson head, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saying that they're Taken. Yeah. So why don't you do?
And they've tinted their windows so people can't even see in.
Yeah.
Because they ooze that much just raw sexuality and just like people see them and they want them. So they have to protect the world.
Right.
Putting the Taken in the back and then tinting the windows so dark.
Right. Before they tinted the windows, the body of this pickup truck was just riddled with dents from people slamming their genitalia straight into it.
Yeah, they're like they just look like the sirens from the Odyssey.
Yeah,
just luring sailors into the rocks that is their fenders.
Just tons of crotch dents all over that thing, right?
Yeah.
You're at your insurance agent, like, is this hail damage? Well, in a way.
Just incredibly high.
Right. So yeah, Ian, you wear a wedding ring. Why don't you have a Taken sticker on the back of your Volkswagen?
So I'm glad we're talking about this. And I always want to talk about whenever someone has like a "I love my wife" or "I love my husband" T-shirt. That is always a sign. Like that is the biggest red flag to me. Of like this person is in an unhappy relationship.
Okay.
There's something amiss here. Why do you feel like you need to proclaim so loudly the thing that literally like 7/8 of humanity is also doing?
Right.
Like, we get it. We all know. We're all doing the same thing.
No one ever said you didn't, Tom.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
You know? I mean, it's again like the thing we talked about the other week where some people just feel the need to like stand in front of the lunch counter and say, order 175 is not mine. Right.
Nobody else. Right. What's the quote? Never miss a good opportunity to shut up.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I forget who said that. Yeah. So Ian, why don't you have a Taken sticker?
I mean, I think we covered it with my terrible answer about why I wear a wedding ring.
I still don't get it. Why don't you have a Taken sticker? Yeah. So I saw that. I shared the photo with my wife, and she was like, "What the?" Like her reactions to stuff like this is just like you just punched her in the kidney. Like she gets so angry at these people. That it is, it's fantastic. Yeah, love to see it every time. I hate these. You right? Yeah. Okay, so let's lighten it up. Here's another my eyes that I saw.
Okay.
This is in traffic. Took the picture in my rear view mirror and then reversed it just in case it looks funny.
Okay.
So here's a vanity plate. Ian, tell people what kind of car it is.
That is an Alfa Romeo Stelvio.
Right, the Alfa Romeo SUV.
The little like crossover thingy.
Yeah,
that's not the Quadrifoglio.
No.
But I see the license plate says Reason 1. Is that a U or an O?
No, it's a reason. It's an O. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Blame crappy interpolation and pixelization for that.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, so it says Reason 1. And
Reason 1.
Maybe that's the name of a business, maybe that's something like that, but like reason and logic and like words like this should not be applied to an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah.
Reasoning has not led you to this decision.
Right. The sticker said booty and pizza. It didn't say common sense and fiscal responsibility.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm
trying to think of an alternative meaning for that license plate, and I'm coming up short.
Yeah, I couldn't think of one either. I wanted to play our vanity license plate game, but I couldn't think of one. Yeah. So it just struck me, like maybe at least like you're like extra wishing that it won't break down or that it was a practical decision if you put a vanity plate on it saying so. Yeah. So
you just need to put it just like the Taken thing. You need to put it in the back window as well and make it extra true.
There you go. Yeah. Yep. Shouting it louder means it's more right.
That's exactly true. That's exactly right.
Yep. So, okay.
Put it on a t-shirt, it's law. It's
exactly.
It's an immutable law of physics if you put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Let's see. So we've got, you don't have any My Eyes, do you?
I do not. I haven't left my house.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have a nice email from our buddy Jared.
That should we wrap up with that? I think we're at like an hour, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. God. Oh yeah. There's one more thing, like PETA's thing.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do Jared's email and then PETA's thing and we'll go out. So our buddy Jared in Kansas City sent us a really nice email. So thank you, Jared, for sending that. And so I really appreciate his perspective. He wrote in talking about our episodes where we talked about Black Lives Matter and like all that stuff. And sharing your experience, Jared, of being a veteran and being pissed off about how folks were reacting to Colin Kaepernick kneeling. Like that was really interesting to hear. And I really appreciate you sharing that with us. So like Jared's fighting the good fight, him and his wife, and we're really thankful for that. And he mentioned something in here. He said that they're, volunteering time, going to protests, and supporting local Black-owned businesses. And the reason that he's writing is because last night, after living in Kansas City for nearly 4 years, we finally ate at LC's Barbecue. Dave, I now know why that's your favorite barbecue joint in KC. It's mine as well. The best burn-ins I've ever had. So, this is just Dave's barbecue talk. And here's a picture of LC's burnt-ins that I just happen to have ready to go anytime the moment's right. Those are some fucking burn-ins, people. Yeah.
That looks so good.
Yeah, Ian.
That looks so good.
At some point, if there's ever something at the Kansas Motor Speedway that we go to in the future, I will take you to one side of the city. I will open your mouth and then I will drag your head across the entire city and close your mouth at the end. Yeah, and you will just.
That sounds amazing.
You'll just have the meat sweats for a year. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Jared, for your email. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Yeah. And so, we talk about a lot of stuff on the show and, we're always going to talk about what's weighing on us, what's making us happy, what's stressing us out, all that stuff in between. So, I really appreciate the feedback on those shows in particular. So, yeah, we're not taking any fucking big swings here. We're just two white dudes with a podcast, but how we feel is how we feel, right?
We're the only two white dudes with a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's just us.
Right. But I don't know. A lot of times there's the opportunity that's taken to present a facade for folks in situations like this. And, we don't do it. So, yeah. Any hoozle. Eat some LC's.
Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, absolutely. Eat some LC's barbecue if you're ever in Kansas City. I hope the spot doesn't get blown up forever. But, yeah. You need to go there. Yeah,
we're gonna send literally dozens of people there.
Hey, when Anthony Bourdain did Kansas City, guess what he said was the best burn-ins?
This one?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So, lastly, automotive thing. No more meat-related thing, unless I guess you really want it to be. But our buddy PETA was helping a friend with their Subaru. Ian.
Oh,
tell the folks what the problem was with this individual Subaru while we stare at a picture of barbecue.
So PETA's friend had a Subaru and it was making a rattling noise. Is that what the problem was?
Yeah, a horrible fan noise when the AC was turned on.
Right. Okay. Yeah. When the AC was on, it was making a terrible noise, and I think they were really worried about a catastrophic failure of some kind.
Right. It sounded bad.
Yeah. And so PETA did some very basic troubleshooting, and it turned out not to be that bad.
Right.
It turned out to be hilarious, though.
Here's a picture. So the engine cover has a Subaru emblem that there you go, that popped off somehow and wedged itself into the AC fan. And so the fan was just hitting that emblem.
That's amazing.
That is the most Subaru failure ever, right?
Yeah. So can I tell you, I once saw a very similar failure.
Okay. Okay.
When it was when I was in Iraq.
Okay.
In the military, the unit that we relieved, we were talking to them during the handoff period of like,
sure.
We were taking over the network and they have all these devices around and, it's a war. So people just like throw the network devices just like wherever, like there's computers and switches and whatever, there's like laying around.
That's called friction mounting.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, they had a video that one of them shot because they were getting temperature warnings on a switch, and then they got a fan failure on the switch, and they were like, crap, and it was like way out, like they had to like cross a flight line to get to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they get out there and they're like they can hear the fan motor when they plug it in. They can hear the fan motor try to go, and it won't move. You only get like that little porthole.
Yep.
And so they take it apart, and the video is of them pushing the fan with the screwdriver and Play-Doh fun factoring out a lizard that had wrapped itself around the fan and was now very flat.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Oh,
so that was a fun RMA, I'm sure, for the vendor to get.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh man, I don't want to work the returns desk there. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, like PETA should have bought a lottery ticket the day that this fix happened, right? Like, Ian, us car boys and girls and people, and all of us car folk, right? Car everyone, right? We don't get many of these fixes in our lifetime. Like,
no,
you maybe get like 5 fixes like that in your life, right?
Yeah.
Like you burned one of your matches in your matchbook that day.
Well, and often you get, when it's something like this, it turns out that you live with it for like 2 or 3 years, and then it turns out to be like something dumb.
Right. Yeah.
That's usually how that story goes.
Yeah. What if I was putting off taking my Infiniti to a shop to do the exhaust manifolds, and it was just like a plastic bag, like that had melted to it or something? Right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the equivalent, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mental anguish. What is this? Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I told PETA that he should have played it up like, oh man, like, I don't know what it is. Like, this is going to be a really expensive repair.
At least get a case of beer out of it,
Right. But the guy just has too good of morals. He's just too nice.
Yeah.
Yep. He's just too good of a person. So yeah.
That's really funny.
Right. We love you, PETA. Thanks for catching that. Yeah. So,
all right.
So there you go. Car show,
mostly about cars and meat.
Yep. Yeah. You can stop your maniacal clicking on our talkabouts.
I can't. I wish I could, but I can't.
That's your nervous tick, man. That's okay. That's all right.
It is. It is.
Yep.
What should people do if they enjoyed whatever this was?
People should subscribe on YouTube and listen to us, iTunes, Stitcher, like all that stuff. Yes. Leave us some comments, maybe a thumbs up on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. Comments are I think are the thing that is probably the most important to us. Yeah. So send us a tweet, Apex Adjacent. Yeah. Email apexadjacent@gmail.com. And also, we haven't played a voicemail for a little bit. So if you see something, I mean, like all of us have been inside, so we haven't seen anything. Like if you see, like, you're just like, oh, I see myself in the mirror. Maybe don't call the crisis line over that, But if you happen to venture out safely and you see something, you go through a crisis, like when I showed my wife the taken truck, that would have been an appropriate time for her to call the line, vent, to 720-515-1391 for a while.
Yeah, you can also text us a picture at that number.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there you go. Deep exhale.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love you, everyone.
We do.
Goodbye.